Hello, everyone. So, it's almost June. That's kind of hard to believe. Like, 2019, I felt just started yesterday. It's kind of hard to think that we're almost at the midway point of 2019. And since we're almost at the midway point of 2019, it's time that we start thinking about what could be for things like YouTube Rewind. Now, of course, if you clicked on this video, chances are pretty high you know what happened last year. Now, if for some reason you don't, I'll give you a quick summary. YouTube Rewind is supposed to represent all of YouTube in a particular year. And when last year's Rewind came out, the people of YouTube were welcomed by Will Smith, someone who's famously known for acting, which, surprise, surprise, that doesn't make him a YouTuber. Now, of course, we were then launched into the worst YouTube Rewind ever. I hated every scene of it. So did just about everyone else. And in fact, it became the most disliked video on YouTube until recent events, which I'm not going to discuss. But anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen next. Honestly, with the main problems with YouTube Rewind in 2018 could have been easily avoided. Like some of the main events that made YouTube in 2018 didn't make it into the final cut. In fact, PewDiePie vs. T-Series, which started late in 2018, but was still a prevalent part of 2018. I mean, honestly, that got barely any show at all. In fact, if it weren't for Jaden Animations, PewDiePie wouldn't have not even a single bit of PewDiePie would be in YouTube Rewind. And when people remember YouTube in 2018, they're gonna think of things like PewDiePie versus T-Series. And oh boy, the brightness is not going out so great. But ignoring that, people are gonna remember YouTube in 2018 for stuff like that, and yet it didn't appear. And so, if that didn't appear in YouTube Rewind of 2018, then what's the hope of YouTube Rewind 2019? Now, one possibility that I've seen before is that they just don't do it. They would give up, which would make sense. Since 2016, YouTube Rewinds people have liked them less and less, and the like dislike ratios definitely prove it. So they might cancel it, but that's a pretty big might, because chances are pretty big that they'll continue anyways. Now, what would happen if they did continue anyways? Now, of course, we're only halfway through 2018. Nothing too big has happened. I mean, there were some things that happened, but not enough to make up an entire YouTube Rewind prediction. But I definitely think that that's the things that have happened in 2019, especially with PewDiePie, because PewDiePie ending the subscribe to PewDiePie meme was definitely a huge part of 2019, at least so far. Yeah, I mean, I just recently watched a video of why certain YouTubers, some of which including PewDiePie, the Paul Brothers, Mr. Beast, and such, would not appear in YouTube Rewinds ever again. And I mean, that made pretty good sense, but those YouTubers are big things on YouTube, whether we like them or not. And if they don't appear in YouTube Rewind, that's kind of an inaccurate depiction of what YouTube is. Now, of course, there's nowhere to go for other than up. Honestly, YouTube Rewind's hit such a low point, I don't think they can do much worse. I mean, there's obviously something worse for everything, but I'm not sure gonna. I'm not sure that YouTube's gonna okay that for a YouTube Rewind. Now, I do think that there are going to be some more strict limitations for YouTube Rewind. Like like I said, if it weren't for Jane Animations, PewDiePie wouldn't have appeared in YouTube Rewind at all. And honestly, PewDiePie not being in YouTube Rewind is nothing new. Ever since 2016, has had a complete lack of appearances in YouTube Rewinds, which is kind of weird considering from 2015 all up until 2016, PewDiePie's been appearing in a lot of YouTube. I cannot handle this brightness. Hopefully that helps. But anyways, all up until 2016, PewDiePie's made appearances in a lot of YouTube Rewinds, and only obviously he's been the number one most subscribed channel for a pretty long period of time. He's been number one most subscribed for longer than anyone else. That's a pretty big deal, and that shouldn't go unnoticed. And yet, YouTube just completely dropped him out of YouTube Rewind. I mean, at this point, I don't expect PewDiePie to end up in Rewind because, I mean, at this point, YouTube's trying to ignore his existence. They canceled his YouTube Red show. So, yeah, I'm not sure that I'm very much doubt that he's gonna appear. But I do think that, I mean, they let Jaden Animation slide with getting PewDiePie in there. I definitely think more strict limits will keep things like that out of YouTube Rewind. And honestly, if they have to limit people to not putting something in YouTube Rewind, that's just gonna make it worse. Because that's not an accurate depiction of YouTube. YouTube's always been do whatever you want. If they don't let the creators and the thing that's supposed to represent YouTube do whatever they want, then they have failed to make it represent and YouTube accurately. And so there's nowhere to go, and so there's nowhere else to go. I think that the best thing for YouTube to do would be to just cancel YouTube Rewinds. I mean, honestly, they aren't. If they fail to do the one thing they were created to do, and what's the point? Because, I mean, I've seen the behind the scenes video for YouTube Rewind 2018, and the stuff that they use looks kind of expensive, so there's no doubt that it's costly to do these YouTube Rewinds. And so, if it costs so much to do and there's no point in doing them because the viewers hate it, then I think they'll just stop. Now, I mean, there definitely is going to be a YouTube Rewind this year, but I wouldn't be shocked if it is the final YouTube Rewind. And that is my thoughts on YouTube Rewind 2019. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to have a nice day.